Hello everybody, my name is Dani, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at the subreddit r/Am I the Butthole? Am I the butthole for not wearing the wedding dress my stepsister handmade for me? I'm a 25-year-old female and I got married 2 weeks ago. My 27-year-old husband and I paid for most of the wedding, but my father covered a few costs for us. My father's girlfriend, Stella, has a daughter, Zoe, who's 21. Zoe is finishing her degree in fashion. She wants to get into the wedding dress industry when she graduates. When I started planning my wedding, she offered to design and make my dress. I was hesitant at first, as I'd been excited about picking out my own dress. I agreed because I didn't know Zoe well. My father had only been dating her mother for 2 years, and I thought this could be a nice opportunity to bond. Also, I'd seen some of her work. She made a couple ball gowns in college, and she seemed honestly good. We met up a few times to discuss our ideas. During these meetings, I realized our styles were drastically different, but we still managed to agree on a design. I gave Zoe my measurements and asked her to update me.
She didn't.
Whenever I asked her how she was doing, she'd say she would send me progress pictures when she got home, but she never did. It took her longer than expected to finish it, and I didn't get the dress until a month before my wedding. It looked nothing like the design we'd agreed on. It was the wrong color, the wrong style, everything. It looked exactly like the type of dress Zoe would want to wear, but I knew I'd never wear anything like that. I really did not like that dress. When I tried it on, I found out it was also about 3 sizes too big. Though I knew I probably could have it altered, I truly did not want to wear that dress on my wedding day. I called Zoe and told her I wouldn't wear the dress. I said it looked lovely, but not the style we'd agreed on, and I thought it would be best for me to find a different dress. I offered to pay her for her work. She'd made the dress for free, but she declined and hung up on me. I went to a retail bridal store with my maid of honor, and we found a beautiful gown that didn't need much altering. It looked exactly like what I wanted.
I feel quite pretty.
Fast forward to my wedding, I walked down the aisle in the dress I bought. Zoe seemed to be on the verge of tears during the ceremony, and Stella gave me dirty looks throughout the reception. When I approached them a while later, they were both
Short with me.
My father, Stella, and Zoe left less than an hour into the reception. My father and Stella called me the next day and told me off for how I'd treated Zoe. This had been her first time making a wedding dress, and she'd been excited to see me wearing it. They said it was insulting of me not to wear the dress she'd put so much effort into. I tried to explain why I hadn't worn the dress, but they're both insisting the dress was beautiful and I could have sucked it up.
Are you delusional?
My husband and my other sister are on my side. I've been feeling guilty about this since I decided not to wear the dress. Am I the butthole? The fact that Zoe refused to give any progress photos lets me know she knew that you would not like the dress she made. It sounds like she's more interested in making a dress for her portfolio than actually giving you something you wanted on your wedding day. You should not have to suck it up and wear a dress on your wedding day that you don't love. This day is not about making Zoe feel better, it's about you and your marriage. Honestly, OP, your family is being a little unreasonable here, and you already didn't have a great relationship with Zoe, so I don't think you're really losing much. Am I the butthole for telling my brother that he's going to be a terrible dad? I'm a 30-year-old male, and I was at my 34-year-old brother's house when my sister-in-law, 31, went into labor. They live in the countryside, so the signal isn't so great sometimes unless they walk up to the lane. So my brother was supposed to take her to the hospital instead of calling an ambulance, but for some effing reason, he decided to freak out and drive off somewhere. I can't drive, so I ran up to the lane to call 999. It took forever to get a signal, and then it took forever for the ambulance to get to the house. I almost had to deliver the baby for F's sake. She ended up giving birth in the huge back of an ambulance. This whole time, my brother had just disappeared. He finally turned up at the hospital about 8 hours after he disappeared. Apparently, he'd gone to our dad's house until our dad found out that my sister-in-law gave birth and made my brother go see her. I yelled at him outside the hospital for being so effing stupid. He told me that he just got scared and didn't know what to do. I told him he's going to be a terrible dad if he keeps reacting like this. What's he gonna do when the kid gets injured and it's his responsibility to take him to A&E? Is he just gonna dump the kid and run off to dad's again? He is such an idiot effing hell. He started crying and called me a twat for being
So mean to him.
I just
Lost it.
with him. He was acting like a child when he should have been comforting his effing wife and apologizing to her for being a jerk. He called me a grunt and told me that
I don't understand what he's feeling.
I get that he was scared, but he seriously needs to get a grip and help his wife. So am I the butthole? OP, I would be equally as furious with your brother as you were. He says he got scared. He's not the one going into labor and about to give birth. He took away the only method for her to get to the hospital, which was him in his car, and just abandoned her. What if you hadn't been there? She would have had to deliver a baby on her own. That is
So dangerous.
He's not only a terrible father, he's just a terrible person in general. And he's a coward. I get becoming a new parent can be scary, but get over it. You've had all this time to prepare, and now your wife and child need you. Grow up, be a man. Am I the butthole for ignoring a crying baby with its mother present in a restaurant and continuing to enjoy my dessert?
Stupid baby, I hate babies.
A few days back, I was out for dinner with my two friends. Anne is currently 17 weeks pregnant, and Kim has been married for 3 years and currently is desperately trying to get pregnant. Because Anne is pregnant, Kim cannot stand the idea of not being pregnant yet, and that is all she can think or talk about. Though it doesn't interest me much, as someone who doesn't plan on ever having children, I happen to have developed a good tolerance for pregnancy or child-related topics because all of my friends are either pregnant or parents. During dinner, they spoke only about pregnancies and childbirth, where I was hoping to catch up on other topics.
Let's get off this subject.
I couldn't get them to talk about anything else, despite politely and subtly trying to change the topic several times. But as I understand that these topics interest them more right now, I very politely contributed to the conversation where I could, otherwise I let them talk as they pleased. A baby started crying in our vicinity and kept crying for a while, even though the mother tried to calm it down. It didn't seem to be hurt in any way, it seemed to be a normal cry for a baby. I noticed it start crying because it was loud, and then didn't notice it anymore. I knew it was crying because that's what my friends kept talking about, but I tuned it out and went back to savoring my dessert. The crying was like background noise to me. But then my friends noticed how I'm enjoying my dessert and not contributing to their conversation about how sad they feel for the baby and how it's making their heart ache. As in, they were having some sort of physical reaction to the baby crying. I tell them that I don't hear the baby cry anymore. They asked me if I had a hearing issue, so I explained how it was like background noise to me after the first 10 seconds. Both of them looked at me in horror and pity. Kim told me it's good I don't plan on having children because I'm heartless, and that my baby would be unlucky to be my baby. Anne said that she
Pities me that I'll never know the feeling that they both had.
Pregnant women are smug.
I laughed at their comments because I thought that Kim wasn't very serious, and Anne is going through a few hormonal changes with her pregnancy and deserves some leniency regarding what she says to me. But they both got mad at me. According to them, it wasn't something to laugh about. Neither of these comments bothered me at first, but after I posted about it yesterday, I received a lot of comments telling me that they're not good friends. I argued in their favor because of their difficult situations. They are emotionally having a tough time, but after what happened today, I'm not so sure anymore. Kim texted me today saying that I need to start showing a little more concern towards crying children if I'm to spend time with her future children. When I asked her if my heart should
Ache.
every time a strange child cried just because I have a uterus, she called me a butthole. So am I the butthole for ignoring that crying child? Honestly, OP, the fact that you were able to tune out a crying child makes me kind of jealous. Before I ever had kids, crying children would kind of grate on my ears, and, you know, I wouldn't be mad at the kid or the parents, but it just was not a fun thing to hear. Not because it made my heart ache, but because it was kind of annoying, sorry. I get that your friends are going through something, but it seems unfair to take that out on you and kind of a ridiculous standard, expecting your heart to ache for every crying child. Now, if the kid had been in danger and was actively being hurt and you just didn't care, that would be a completely different situation. But babies cry. It's the only way they have to communicate. So that baby was likely saying, I'm hungry or I'm tired, and if you heard any other child verbalizing that they're hungry or tired, it shouldn't make your heart ache. I think where your friends took it too far was saying that you wouldn't be allowed around their children unless you start just, sobbing every time a strange baby cries?
That's ridiculous.
If it wasn't for that comment, I would have said that there are no buttholes here. Your friends have the right to not understand why you don't feel the way they do, but they don't have the right to treat you this way. It just doesn't seem like you guys have compatible interests anymore. So maybe an amicable dissolution of your friendship is called for. You are definitely not in the wrong here. That was r/am-I-the-butthole. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time. Bye!